Scott in Tampa. Let's hear from him. Scotty, take it away, pal. What do you have today?
I'm doing well, thank you, Doggy. First of all, I'm a small room guy like you, and I watched the MLB show last night, and I felt like it was 1 against 4 all night. You against the other guys. And I'll bring up the guys you were talking about a lot last night. First, I agree with you on Kent. Any pitcher you ask, Chris, who would tell you that they would rather face Ryan Sandberg over Jeff Kent in a big spot is lying through their teeth. And Sandberg's in the Hall of Fame. So if Sandberg's in the Hall of Fame, how Jeff Kent is not is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And he's not going to make it either. He's only got 16% of the vote. Yep, go ahead.
And I agree with your list completely. I want to bring up the 2 guys you talked about last night. And if you go by Brian Kenny, everybody's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you may as well just put 9,000 guys.
Yeah, okay. Johnny Damon now? Yeah.
Scott Rowland? I mean, come on. Here's the thing on Trevor Hoffman and then on Mussina. Chris, you can't use saves as your crux of your argument when a save is coming in the 9th inning in a 3-run lead. You can give up 2 runs and still get the save. Alex Colomé led the American League in saves last year on a Rays team that had no chance to win anything. So that tells you all you need to know about the save statistic. It's ridiculous. That's the first thing.
I agree. And I think the reliever's got to do well in the postseason because that's when he's most needed.
It has to be what he does in a big spot, and Trevor Hoffman failed every time.
Terrible. He was not good in a big game. Yep.
And here's the thing on Mussina. I know he's just short of 300, Chris, but I'm like you. Give me some bold type and italics. He never led the league in innings, in wins. He never led the league in ERA. His ERA is almost 3.7, and you're putting him in the Hall of Fame? If you look at his last 4 years, the only reason why he got close in wins is because he hung around. His ERAs in some of those years was like 4.5.
No, he did win 20. No, he did win 20 games his last year. To be fair, he won 20 games his last year.
And didn't he have a 4.5 ERA that year, Chris?
I'd have to look. Let me take a look. I don't think it was that bad.
He only led the league. He only has two. I think things in league leading, maybe complete games and innings pitched. He never led in ERA, and he never led in strikeouts his whole career, not one.
Yeah, well, I will. Let's give you the cases on Mussina, and these are the pros and these are the antis. He's got a 3.68 ERA, which would be the 3rd highest of anybody in the Hall of Fame. The only 2 who are worse are Jack Morris and Red Ruffing. But he did have it. But he did have
Hall of Fame, and Jack Morris shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Listen, you can go there if you wish. But if you look at it from the adjusted ERA and the steroid era, everybody loves him. But he never won a Cy Young. He finished in the top 5 6 times. He finished second once. From 1995 to 2003, he threw 200 innings or more each season. He's got 266 wins in that 16-year period. He's got a good WAR. He's got a very, very good winning percentage. He's 270, 153 lifetime, which is 638. So those are the positives. The negative, as you said, he never has any bold type. He never won a Cy Young or finished in the top 3. And, in a big game, I'd rather give the ball to Schilling. So he never.
A million times.
In a million times, 100%.
You could come up, Chris, you could come up with 10 pitches you give the ball to Andy Pettitte in a big game before you give it to Mike Mussina.
Correct. I think Mussina is a perfect example of the Hall of Fame of the very good. I do not think that he is the Hall of Fame of the Hall of Famer. Now, here's the thing about Schilling. Now, Schilling, it's very tough. Here is the why he should be in the Hall of Fame. He's 11-2, 2.23 ERA in 19 career postseason starts. He led the league in strikeout to walk ratio 5 times in a 6-year period where he pitched in both leagues. He finished in the top 10 in ERA 9 times from 92 to 2004, and he was great in WAR if you care about that. Also top 5 in Ks 8 times between 93 and 96. And then in the World Series, he was in late in his career, he was 10-1 in 3 postseasons with a 2.18 ERA in postseason starts. And he only allowed 23 earned runs in 7 of his last 20 seasons in the postseason. And 11 of the 23 runs came in 2 games. But the negative on Schilling is before he went to Arizona in 2000, he was 105 and 89 in that period. He never won a Cy Young. He is winning. He's only got 216 wins. He's very much like Kevin Brown, and Kevin Brown probably is not a Hall of Famer. Kevin Brown is 211 and 144. Schilling's 216 and 146. It's a very, very tricky case, Schilling and Mussina. I put Schilling in because of postseason, and I leave Mussina out. Sean in New Jersey, Mad Dog Unleashed for him. Sean, good afternoon.
Hey, Doggy, how are you?
Fine, Sean. Thank you. What's up now?
Couple things. I'm going to reiterate what other people said. I understand everything you said, and I agree with you. But when you allow Bud Selig in the Hall of Fame, the gatekeeper, the guy who was in charge during the steroid era, and you lose credibility when you don't want to put players of such...
I think there's an argument to be made for that. I understand that theme. I think there's something to it. You know, Selig was the commissioner. Now, he didn't know. He couldn't do anything because of the Players Association. But he did nothing. He did nothing until he was forced to prevent major leaguers from using steroids. I agree. There is some truth to that. Go ahead.
Now, I agree with you on Messina, but I'll play devil's advocate. You're penalizing a guy who, from everyone's knowledge, was a clean pitcher.
No, he was clean.
Competing against other steroid users who were winning Cy Youngs during his time. He was a number one pitcher for 10, 12 years on both the Orioles and the Yankees, and were competing against steroid guys and put up very good numbers.
I understand that. Mussina is very tight. Very close call with Mussina. To me, he's the Hall of Fame of the very good, but he is one of those borderline guys, as is Schilling. Now, I put Schilling in because of the postseason, but I do understand your take. Now, people who want to give Bud a pass on this steroid thing, they say his hands were tied because the Players Association would never agree, and obviously Bud did something for the minor leagues when he instituted a very tough steroid policy in the minor leagues, so his heart was in the right place, and he would have done something about steroids if he could have. That's the argument. 9 in front of the hour, continuing on Mad Dog Unleashed.